Last week in class, we learned about the concept of perimeter. Perimeter's definition is the length around an object or shape. We have a drawing here to help you remind you that you need to add all the sides when working around a shape. One strategy for solving for perimeter would be to add all of the sides with repeated addition. In this situation, we add the 2 plus the 2 plus the 3 plus the 3, which means the perimeter of our shape would be 10 centimeters. Another strategy that works when all of your sides are the same, for instance in a square that you see, would be to take the 2 inches for each side and multiply it by how many sides you have, which would be 4. So 4 sides times 2 inches each would equal 8 inches as your perimeter. Now we're going to look at a problem that you need to use perimeter to solve. This problem says, Carol is making 2 bulletin boards for her classroom, one square and one rectangular. She is going to add ribbon to the edges of the border. The size of the rectangular bulletin board is 15 inches by 18 inches. The length of the square bulletin board is the length of the shorter side of the rectangle. How much ribbon will she need for both bulletin boards? The first piece of information we need to focus on is that the length of the square bulletin board is the length of the shorter side of the rectangle. When I look at my rectangle shape, I realize that the shorter side would be 15 inches. That means that for my square, each side would be 15 inches. Since the question says that Carol's making 2 bulletin boards, I don't need to add my shapes together because it specifies that we have separate bulletin boards. I might find the perimeter for the first shape to start. If the left side of my rectangular is 15 inches, that means the right side of my rectangle is also 15 inches. If the bottom of my rectangle is 18 inches, that means that the top of my rectangle is also 18 inches. I know my definition is that the perimeter is by adding all of the sides. One strategy I might use is to take the 15 plus the 15, since that's a double, and add those together first. 15 plus 15 would equal 30. I might now take my 18 plus my 18 inches and add those together. Using my mental math strategies, I know 8 plus 8 is a double, which would equal 16. That would give me a 6 in my ones place, and I'd have 10 left over. While 10 plus 10 in my 18s plus another group of 10 for my 16 would equal 30, so my answer would be 36. Now I need to add my 30 plus my 36 inches together, and that would equal 66 inches. So the perimeter of my rectangle would be 66 inches. I now need to find the perimeter of my square to solve the problem.
You're so good at this. Is why
Since the square has all sides the same, there's a couple of strategies I could use. I could use the same one I used last time and add 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15. If you feel ready, you could also do 15 times 4 sides, but I'd rather stick with my repeated addition strategy. I'm going to first look at my tens. I have 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. And I know that 4 groups of 10 would equal 40. Now I look at my ones. I have a 5 plus a 5 plus a 5 plus a 5. Skip counting, I know 5, 10, 15, 20 would be the value of my ones. I'm going to add those two numbers together, and 40 plus 20 would equal 60 inches. Since I need to know both bulletin boards for my ribbon, I'm going to take that 60 inches for my square perimeter. I'm going to add that to my 66 inches for my rectangular perimeter, and 60 plus 60 equals 120, plus I have a 0 and a 6 in my ones, which equals 126 inches. Now I want to look and make sure my answer makes sense. The question again asks, how much ribbon will she need for both bulletin boards? I made sure I included this bulletin board in my answer. I made sure I found the perimeter of this bulletin board in my answer. So I'm going to be sure that 126 inches would be a logical answer for my question. I'd like you to try this one on your own. Mrs. Jones pushed 2 hexagonal tables together to form one big table in order to put several students all together. What is the perimeter of the big table she created? Remember, think about the definition of perimeter and what it means. Think about what operation you might use to solve for the perimeter. In this question, make sure you look and find any important information that might change what you see in the picture. And at the end, it's always important to make sure that you check to see, is my answer logical for the question that it's asking me? Good luck!